Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for the 2020 Direct Support Professional of the Year virtual awards presentation. We are so excited to welcome all of you to this call. We have nearly 500 people registered to join us to celebrate the 55 honorees that we'll be recognizing over the course of the next hour and a half. My name is Sean Lichtefeld. I'm the Communications Director for ANCOR, and before I hand things over to ANCOR CEO Barbara Merrill to kick things off, I just wanted to go over 3 quick housekeeping notes with you all. First of all, if you are having any technical difficulties this afternoon and need technical support, you are welcome to use the chat function in the Zoom control panel, and a member of the ANCOR team will answer any questions to the best of their ability. Second, please note that this presentation is being recorded. For that reason, all attendees are in listen-only mode. If you have a question or if you have any difficulties, please do use that chat feature. But otherwise, all of us, including the panelists, will be muted when they're not speaking, so that way we can preserve the sound quality and make sure that the recording is high quality. Third and finally, I wanted to let you all know that closed captioning is available for today's presentation. If you would like to view the captioning, please use the Zoom control panel, and on the right-hand side, you'll find a button for closed captioning. If you click that, you should be able to see the captions without a problem. And once again, I am really grateful that you all are here, because I think all of the folks that we are honoring today are so deserving of the recognition that we hoped that we could have shared with them at the ANCOR Annual Conference in Miami. So we're really grateful to cheers to you all and applaud the important work that you are doing. So without further ado, I will hand things over to ANCOR CEO Barbara Merrill to kick us off.
Thank you, Sean. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the virtual awards ceremony to present the Direct Support Professional of the Year Class of 2020 honorees. ANCOR has presented the Direct Support Professional of the Year awards on an annual basis, going back to 2007. And we do it to elevate the profession of direct support, because as we all know, community integration is only made possible for so many individuals because of the work that you all do, because of the work that direct support professionals do to support individuals and their families, work that literally strengthens and transforms communities and our society at large. But this year not only feels different, it is different. It's even more poignant because of the enormous debt of gratitude that we owe to all direct support professionals. Your work has always been incredibly important, and it will always be incredibly important. But your current role during this pandemic has never before demanded such gratitude. This is clearly a challenging time. It's draining, physically, mentally, emotionally. But what keeps all of us at ANCOR super energized are all the stories that we're hearing from the front lines. Your stories, how direct support professionals are volunteering to quarantine in the homes of the people they support when those individuals test positive. Stories of direct support professionals who are working double and triple the number of hours to cover for your colleagues who have fallen ill or who are caring for family members who have fallen ill. Stories of direct support professionals creating amazing networks of support from scratch to connect people with groceries, medical supplies, and other essential items. And so we're really so immensely grateful for the opportunity to spend the next 90 minutes celebrating the 55 direct support professionals who are doing incredible, who all of you were doing such incredible work before this crisis, and who are now undoubtedly moving mountains, and in so many cases, saving so many lives to support people in the community. So it's hugely exciting. What I see, there are 362 people who are part of this audience today. But we need the entire country to know exactly how essential you are. And so that's why today, I'm really delighted to share that ANCOR is launching the Forgotten Faces campaign. And that campaign is all about telling your stories and to demand that your faces not be forgotten by Congress, the White House, the Department of Health and Human Services, and in your state capitals. So you're going to hear more about this, but please, I want you to take this away right now. Please share your stories. Share the stories of your colleagues, your own stories, the stories of the folks that you support, and use the hashtag Forgotten Faces in all of your social media. Help us ensure that your faces are not forgotten. We're celebrating right now. We're celebrating for the next 90 minutes. I guess maybe I've used up some of that. But tonight, when you have a couple minutes, maybe tomorrow morning, please help us push this campaign out. It's incredibly important. So back to the celebration. And here's where I get to just really say thank you to our partner, Relias. To be sure, none of this celebration would have been possible absent the support of ANCOR's very first diamond partner, Relias. Relias has been a partner of ours for a long time, but just this year they earned diamond partner designation because of the ways they continue to inspire us with how deeply they invest in our members. One example is Relias's underwriting of these awards, which they have done, thank you so much, for 7 years in a row. Their support has made possible the beautiful plaques that all of our honorees should have received in the mail by now, the Recognizing Excellence, a publication that we put out that has all of your pictures and your stories, and also for all the time that the ANCOR staff puts into the process of soliciting applications, judging the nominations, selecting the honorees, and planning all the activities designed to celebrate all of you. So for that reason, I am beyond thrilled that we're joined today by Mike Mutka, who has just an amazing background behind him. Mike serves as Relias's Chief Program Officer. He is, and I love this, the man is a serial entrepreneur, and he's just really truly an innovator at the intersection of healthcare, technology, marketing, and education. Mike brings a really rich and long career of designing and delivering programs that improve the lives of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and autism. So Mike, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Barbara. I really, really appreciate that. And thanks to you and everybody there, Gabrielle, Marie, Sean, our awesome partner, Kate McNulty, Barry, the rest of the board of directors, and all of your award winners for the chance to be included in this event. It really is a treat, and it's a privilege to be here, even if we aren't on South Beach. And again, my name's Mike. I'm actually one of the founders of Relias way back 15 years ago, Chief Product Officer. And one of the great things about Relias is across our team, they're very, very passionate about our mission, and that is to support the most vulnerable members of society and the people that provide their care. And that's really, really relevant and for the role of DSP. And what I love about our folks across the whole company is they don't just carry that mission statement around on a card in their wallet. They're very active. We've, as Barbara said, we've sponsored this for 7 years. We're involved in sponsoring the ANCOR Foundation's Included, Supported, Empowered campaign. In our home state, our team members volunteer more hours for North Carolina Special Olympics than any other company in the state. So it's a really shared passion across the organization. And from a personal standpoint, I joined Relias 15 years ago when I moved my family across country because my then 4-year-old daughter, Megan, had autism and she hadn't spoken yet. And we couldn't get the services we needed where we were at. And we moved, and that's how I got started as the 5th employee with this little company that became Relias. My daughter's 19 now, and she's thriving and empowered. She's getting close to getting her learner's permit, which is the most terrifying thing that ever happens to any parent. And a lot of that is because of tireless work over the years from direct support workers, professionals, and caregivers that have really, really helped her. One of our other co-founders, Bill Glass, he has an adult stepson who is living a really thriving and empowered living in a supported living setting, thanks to living tremendously independently because of direct professionals. So you could say this is really personal for us too. It's really very, very personal. So there's a great quote I love, and you've probably heard it before. It gets thrown around a lot. It's attributed to Mahatma Gandhi, and it goes something like this. There's various different forms you'll hear, but I'll paraphrase it. The greatness of a nation can be measured by how it treats the most vulnerable members of society. And I really believe that's true. And one of the things, these days, it's really, really fashionable these days to call a lot of people superstars or heroes. And so I went back and I was thinking about this celebration, and I went and looked up the definition of hero again, just to look to see what it said. And it said, a hero is a person who's able to combat and overcome adversity through feats of ingenuity, courage, and strength. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. A person who's able to combat and overcome adversity through feats of ingenuity, courage, and strength. And I try to look for the positive in everything that's going on right now with the pandemic. And one of the silver linings is, I think this whole pandemic has really reminded us what a true definition of a hero is, who a hero really is. It's not the stars of sports and entertainment who get paid millions of bucks and all this adulation and worship for playing games and performing. I don't know if you've noticed, but all of those people seem a little bit smaller now than they did a few months ago. Have you noticed that? They don't seem quite as larger than life as they seem to be, just back in January. At the same time, the people that seem a lot more heroic these days are the caregivers, the first responders, the people who are quietly going about doing the things that allow our lives to function safely and smoothly each day, even in a pandemic. And I think that DSP fits this definition of hero pretty darn well. Lots of small victories every day that require ingenuity, courage, and strength. No big crowds with standing ovations, of global superstardom, any of that. You all just quietly go about supporting and empowering people. When I'm at Relias, sometimes I'll ask team members to do something they're not happy about, and they'll start whining a little bit or feel a little bit under pressure or stressed about a deadline or something. And when they do that, I always stop and say, never forget that your toughest day in the office is a piece of absolute cake compared to the challenges that many of our users and members overcome each day. And remember that. So I have to admit, I am disappointed today because I wish I could be there in person to high five and hug and cheer and scream and applaud for every one of you and end up with a hoarse voice by the end of the night. For all of you that are receiving awards, thank you so much for reminding us all what a hero really looks like. Thank you. And, throw it back to you, Barbara.
Thank you, Mike. I really, really enjoyed hearing that. Thank you for those remarks, but thank you for our partnership together. I look forward to many more years. So now, without further ado, it's time for me to start the celebrations, and I get to kick it kick it off, rather, to our extraordinary presenters this year, Gabrielle Sedor and Barry Simon. Barry Simon has served as the president and CEO of Oak Hill since 2013. Oak Hill is a provider organization in Connecticut. They are based in Hartford, and they support both children and adults with IDD. And Barry brings 3 decades of human services management experience to his work at Oak Hill. And joining Barry will be Gabrielle Sidor, who is our Chief Operations Officer here at ANCOR, and she also directs the ANCOR Foundation. Gabrielle was my first hire when I took this job. She joined our team over 5 years ago after spending more than 15 years in Pennsylvania at PAR, one of the 2 state-level provider associations in Pennsylvania. And in her work, Gabrielle oversees the operations, communications, education, and foundations team. She plays truly a key role in executing ANCOR's mission of creating truly inclusive communities by strengthening the work of providers. So Gabrielle, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. And congratulations. Congratulations to all 55 of our direct support professionals who we are celebrating today. The rest of the afternoon is yours. Our sole purpose today is to celebrate you, the work you do, and the impact that you make on a daily basis to all of the people that you touch. So let's do this. The 2020 Alabama DSP of the Year is Telease Davis. Telease is from Resources for Independence in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Telease Davis has an outgoing personality that exhibits a level of care for each of the people she supports. She's highly involved with each person she works with and engages with them on a one-on-one level that makes it easy to identify their wants and needs, even when, like everyone else, they sometimes struggle to express themselves. Telease engages with each person she supports in a way that displays her utmost respect for them. Everyone that lives in the home where Telease works has a unique relationship with her, enabling them to live an enhanced and a more meaningful life. Congratulations to you, Telease. Our 2020 Alaska DSP of the Year is Gina Coleman. Gina is from Hope Community Resources in Willow, Alaska. And Gina brings out the best in the people she lives with, the people she works with, and the people she supports. She assures that people can live the life they choose, even if that life is a little extraordinary. Gina even makes life at 20 degrees below zero seem cozy. Everybody deserves to live in the community of their choice, even if that community is off the beaten path. The 2020 Arizona DSP of the Year is Hannah Mungai. Hannah is from Mosaic in Phoenix, Arizona. Never letting fear get in the way, Hannah has worked with the women she supports to help them unlock much more of what life has to offer. By focusing on people as individuals, Hannah has been able to help those she supports grow in the community. The connection and trust between Hannah and the people she supports has made all the difference. Hannah has demonstrated what true connection can do for people in the community. Due to her dedication and the hard work of the women she supports, they've been able to reach new heights and live life to the fullest. The 2020 California DSP of the Year is Rebecca Santos. Rebecca is from BrightSpring Health Services in San Diego, California. Before she met Rebecca, one of the women she went on to support used a wheelchair and had no walking program planned. As a result, she stayed in her wheelchair during all waking hours. When Rebecca realized that the woman would walk a handful of steps with her father when he came to visit, Rebecca worked with the individual to develop a walking goal. Rebecca started by walking with the woman from the front door of the house to her bus once or twice a week. Day by day, the individual's ability to walk improved, and 5 months later, she was walking 2 blocks almost every day. Her life has been transformed in large part because of Rebecca's support, and she can now engage in her local community. Congratulations, Rebecca. The 2020 Colorado DSP of the Year is Lisa Burring. Lisa is from Mosaic in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Lisa's impressive ability to problem solve helps people with disabilities plan for their future. She focuses on each individual and their family's vision of what they would like to do and achieve in their future. For example, Lisa helps someone she supports make friends in the community by joining a billiards league with him. Lisa is a dedicated provider who exemplifies person-centeredness and stands as a testament to the power of love and care. As Lisa always says, caregiving often calls us to lean into love we didn't know was possible. Next up is the 2020 Connecticut DSP of the Year, and that's Sandra Lopez. Sandra is from Mosaic in Oakdale, Connecticut. Sandra makes sure the people he supports are happy and live a great life. Whether he's helping them bake a cake, turning on music and dancing in the living room, or joining them on a run to the store, he shows love and compassion. Sandra's approach has decreased the frequency of many behavioral challenges in the home where he works, because the people who live there know they come first, and the Sandra listens and respects them. Sandra exemplifies the best characteristics of a great DSP. He ensures people's needs are met, medications are ordered, supplies are in stock, and activities are successful, all while maintaining an enthusiasm that gets the people he supports to smile every day. The 2020 Delaware DSP of the Year is Michelle Westbrook. Michelle is from Mosaic in Wilmington, Delaware. Michelle does whatever it takes to provide a life full of possibilities for the people she supports. After supporting one individual to live a healthier lifestyle and secure employment, Michelle wasn't done. While continuing to ask the individual what he wanted in life, she discovered he had been estranged from his family. Michelle helped him communicate with and coordinate a reunion with his sister. Michelle also provides coaching, feedback, and training to the other DSPs she works with, as well as incoming DSPs. For everyone who works with her, Michelle is an invaluable colleague. I had the pleasure of seeing our next recipient in action here in Washington, D.C. So the 2020 District of Columbia DSP of the Year is Jason McGahee, and Jason's from RCM of Washington, D.C. Jason has been a thoughtful and passionate DSP for over 10 years. His commitment to making a positive impact in the lives of people in his community, both professionally and personally, is boundless. Jason is an accomplished social justice activist. His tireless work outside of our agency keeps him grounded and guided. Locally, he has testified at City Council in support of the DSP Rate Act, which was legislation to help raise wages for DSPs in DC. He also testified on Capitol Hill at a briefing organized by ANCOR. Anyone who hears Jason speak knows the passion he has about people he supports and his fellow DSPs, and I can attest to that. Next up is a recipient of one of our special category awards, and that's for innovation, and that's Kay-Ann Stewart. Kay-Ann is from Mosaic in Manchester, Connecticut. Technology has been an increasingly important part of programs for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Recently, Kay-Ann's program received a grant from the state to help increase independence through the use of technology. Kay-Ann jumped at the opportunity, helping her program implement and utilize smart speakers, health trackers, sensors, timers, and other devices. This has given the people she supports a new sense of independence and enables staff to monitor people without interfering in their lives. I feel like Connecticut is getting all kinds of shout outs right now, so I think it's only appropriate that I turn things over to my friend Barry Simon, who's going to lead the next wave of recipients for our awards.
Thanks, Gabby. Really appreciate that. I also want to congratulate all of the DSPs for their hard work. And certainly this night is a great time to celebrate all that's happening, and congratulations. So the winner from the Florida DSP of the Year is Judy Saffold from BrightSpring Health Services in Clearwater, Florida. Judy identifies person-centered goals for each of the people that she supports. When one individual appeared sad whenever she was in her bedroom, Judy helped her redesign her bedroom. Judy brought a paint sample. The individual chose her favorite, and together they picked out new decorations. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary, and thanks to Judy, the woman she supports now has a bedroom that brings her joy. Judy used the same person-centered approach to help others redesign and personalize their bedrooms. This is a shining example of how she preserves the dignity of everyone she supports and ensures that their dreams and desires come first. Congratulations, Judy. The Georgia DSP of the Year is Carla Garrison Green from RHA Health Services in Augusta, Georgia. When an individual that Carla supports expressed that they wanted to be president, Carla used the upcoming Residents Council election to launch an all-out campaign. This included photo shoots, posters, door-to-door canvassing, and campaign rallies. Carla even secured a voting booth to transform her office into a polling place. But Carla didn't stop there. She then used this as an opportunity to educate others supported by RHA Health Services on the voting process and provided them with the full voting experience. The experience also inspired Carla to speak at the Georgia Capitol to advocate for fair wages for DSPs, where her testimony received a standing ovation from the panel. The Idaho DSP of the Year is Joshua Grade from Consumer Direct Care Network in Boise, Idaho. I believe by showing sincerity, you're allowing the individual to be open because they see you really care, says Josh. I am open to talking about all areas of relationships and then normalize how someone feels so that they are safe to express their thoughts and feelings. This person-centered approach and relationship cultivation is key to helping the people Josh supports thrive. Josh strives to relate to and connect with the individuals so that they can progress in their own unique ways. In addition, Josh runs a training group for direct support staff to help them identify and implement new and advanced techniques to help connect better with the people that they support. Congratulations, Josh. The Illinois DSP of the Year is Jacqueline Anderson from Trinity Services in New Lenox, Illinois. Jacqueline helps the people she supports achieve their goals. She studies written plans and helps people orchestrate the activities that they want. She is a dedicated DSP who finds creative ways to connect with people to help them maximize their independence, understand abstract concepts and practical skills, have positive social interactions, and experience new things. Jacqueline is a passionate advocate who explores legislative opportunities to better the lives of people with disabilities and the DSPs who support them. Some of these efforts include writing letters, making phone calls, and mailing postcards to lawmakers to help secure funding for these much needed services. The Indiana DSP of the Year is Sandee Lee Alexander from Dungarvan in South Bend, Indiana. Sandee's emphasis on developing connections encourages the individuals she supports to be more independent and achieve their personal goals. Sandee teaches the people she supports to utilize their coping skills and decrease targeted behaviors, advocates for themselves, and work together for greater independence. Sandee has supported people in the home where she works to obtain paying jobs in the community, which in turn enables them to be more included in their community. The Iowa DSP of the Year is Trang Chu Conrad from Exceptional Persons, Inc. in Waterloo, Iowa. Chu saved the life of a person she supported by continuing to advocate for them following a fall. Even after paramedics claimed that there was no need for a hospital visit, Chu took it upon herself to drive the individual to the hospital where they were found to be in need of treatment in the ICU. Chu is a fierce advocate for everyone she works with, whether it's to get a medical referral or medication change. Chu also constantly looks for ways people can get out into and enjoy the community. It's important to her that new staff learn person-centered supports. Chu leads by example and encourages staff to listen, follow through, and genuinely show they care. The Kansas DSP of the Year is Jess Molina from Johnson County Development Supports in Lenexa, Kansas. Jessa has demonstrated advocacy in her community on behalf of the people she supports by seeking out opportunities to educate schools, business, and civic organizations about the contributions that people with disabilities can make in the workplace when they have access to the right supports. Jessa remains focused on the goal of developing opportunities for competitive employment and creating a community of employers who value diversity in their workforce. She's innovative and inspires the individuals she works to achieve their personal goals. She's helped create a brighter future for people with disabilities, a future defined by empowerment and independence. The Kentucky DSP of the Year is Cheryl Bauman from Tri-Generations in Louisville, Kentucky. Along with relationship building, Cheryl sneaks in self-confidence, purpose, and self-advocacy whenever supporting people at home and in the community. She encourages confidence building through photo shoots that empower people to envision themselves as models. She supported one individual to advocate for themselves by attending and directing their annual team meeting, which was held without a family member for the first time this year. This was a big step on the road to independence. As a result, the individual no longer meekly agrees to others' goals, but asserts for her own. This growth has motivated the individual to become a registered voter who now diligently keeps informed ahead of every opportunity to vote. I'd also like to share the first of two recipients of our special category award for the NADSP Tenants category, and it's Kevin Kickert from Dungarvan in Columbus, Ohio. Kevin knows that one of the biggest obstacles for a young man he supports is overcoming nervousness when meeting new people. The young man will be graduating high school soon and worries about how he will maintain connections with old friends and make new ones. In response, Kevin encourages him to engage with new people by starting conversations through humor and to build the courage to attend parties. This isn't a formal goal of his personal support plan, but rather a life lesson being taught by a man who sees the full potential of people he supports. And every single day, Kevin does everything in his power to support people to achieve their full potential. The second recipient of the special category award for the NADSP Tenants category is Surmasuk Nuni Kunvasal from Sunrise Community in Miami, Florida. Nuni models appropriate social interactions that are warm, charming, lovely, and satisfying. She interacts with families of people she supports and has helped them in deeper understanding of their loved ones' hopes and dreams and the obstacles that might stand in the way. Nuni works with individuals who sometimes experience interpersonal conflicts, and she mediates these conflicts with an eye towards helping them to gain the skills needed to resolve conflicts in a positive, affirming way. She always tries to provide the least amount of assistance possible so that individuals become independent and build positive relationships. Gabby, back to you.
Thank you, Barry. This is so fun. If you haven't taken a look at the chat box that's available in today's recording, you should. The amount of love and congratulations and additional comments from almost 400 of you is just really enlightening and wonderful. So please keep it up. Please congratulating our friends. The next of which is the 2020 Louisiana DSP of the Year, and that's Daytona Irvin. Daytona is from BrightSpring Health Services in Lafayette, Louisiana. Daytona Irvin's nomination letter says it all. Daytona saved an individual's life. She was doing a random visit to a day program when an individual who was eating lunch there began choking on their food. Without panicking, Daytona immediately applied the skills she learned and used the de-choker to dislodge food. Daytona was also able to calm others who were frantic about the situation. This person is alive today thanks to Daytona's knowledge and calm demeanor in a chaotic and potentially horrific situation. Daytona's care and capability have allowed her to build strong relationships with the individuals she supports and the staff she works with. The 2020 Maine DSP of the Year is Katie Pulk from John F. Murphy Homes in Auburn, Maine. An individual Katie supports expressed a desire to visit America's most beloved ballpark. Saving enough money for a trip to Fenway in Boston was a challenge, but no challenge is too big for Katie. She supported the individual to develop a detailed savings plan. The individual stuck to the spending program and it eventually paid off. They visited Fenway Park, ate at the famous Bleacher Bar restaurant, and took a complete tour of the stadium. Katie's sincere dedication to the people she supports can be seen by all, the depth of which is revealed through her relationships with them. Her ability to put their thoughts, choices, and feelings first is what person-centeredness is all about. The 2020 Maryland DSP of the Year is Marie Bonnet. She's from Seek in Silver Springs, Maryland. Marie noticed that someone she supports often felt isolated and trapped within herself and her fears. This resulted in uncomfortable behavioral symptoms. After learning that loud noises were a trigger, Marie focused on supporting the individual to find uncrowded spaces. One day at a community garden, Marie noticed the individual was watching someone water plants and asked if they could give it a try. The individual relished the calming spray of the water and took pride in nourishing the flowers and vegetables. They now work together at the garden center 5 days a week. Marie's patience, kindness, and caring help support people of all abilities to lead lives of inclusion. Next up is the 2020 Massachusetts DSP of the Year, and that's Julian Cadavid from WCI, Work Community Independence in Waltham, Massachusetts. Julian supports individuals with support needs who often demonstrate aggression towards him, other peers, and staff. His ability to remain calm and to maintain needed boundaries is critical in his daily interactions. By treating individuals with respect, speaking to them calmly, and listening to their needs, Julian models for people in the community how our neighbors with disabilities deserve to be treated. Despite having a hearing disability, one individual Julian works with maintains a steady job due to Julian's innovation. He taught them how to use an iPhone to reach program staff when needed and to leverage FaceTime to communicate using notes and gestures so they can work independently. The 2020 Michigan DSP of the Year is John Cunningham. John is from BrightSpring Health Services in Milan, Michigan. One goal for every person supported by John's organization is for them to know which medications they take, how much they take, and why. John created a crossword puzzle style tool with photos and a list of each person's medications to help them memorize their own routines. A year later, this tool is used widely, and everyone John supports knows most, if not all, of their medications by name, dose, and photo. John also makes sure the individuals he supports are living full and complete lives. When needed, he goes on week-long vacations with people so they can attend family reunions, baby showers, birthday parties, or whatever else they desire. The 2020 Minnesota DSP of the Year is Molly Halls from Laura Baker Services Association in Northfield, Minnesota. Molly's known for outside-the-box strategies that work well for the people she supports. At one house, she instituted a weekly Foster Friday in which she brings in dogs and other animals she's fostering on her farm to visit and interact with the people she supports. Molly has a gift of tuning into the needs and interests of people she supports to determine what tools she can use to help them achieve their goals. She then uses kindness and persistence to help transform those goals into reality. Her professionalism, kindness, and determination directs her approach to delivering high-quality services and her commitment to strengthening other staff and the organization. Next up is the 2020 Mississippi DSP of the Year, and that's Lakisha Stewart. She's from Rem in Hattiesboro, Mississippi. Lakisha has been personally influenced by her brother, who has an intellectual disability. As a result of their relationship, Lakisha strives to meet the specific, individualized needs of each person she supports. Because of her strong relationships with the people she supports, Lakisha uses their history together to explore new ways of improving their quality of life. Lakisha is known as Ladybug because she quietly goes about her day emulating the qualities of a person-focused DSP. Her passive yet successful approach enables those she supports to be as independent as possible, without the feeling that someone's watching over or doing things for them. Next up is the 2020 Missouri DSP of the Year, and that's Kim Boden. Kim is from Life Unlimited in Kansas City, Missouri. Kim supports an individual whose phone number changed several times due to multiple relocations. She noted the individual was down because they hadn't received any phone calls. Because multiple moves left the person struggling to remember their phone number, they couldn't give it out to people they had befriended in the community. Kim's innovative thinking led her to create business cards for the person she supports to give to friends. Kim's experience and natural instinctive abilities guide her to create a respectful, inclusive, and familiar atmosphere among the people she supports. She encourages new opportunities and experiences, choice, individual empowerment, and self-advocacy at every turn. The 2020 International DSP of the Year is Jennifer Huell from BrightSpring Health Services in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada. Jen promotes person-centered supports by getting to know each of the individuals with whom she works, including their likes, dislikes, and the special things they enjoy doing. She then incorporates this knowledge into her daily interactions with the people she supports, using functional and leisure activities to engage people in the development of and progress towards their own goals. Jen is a dedicated DSP and consistent source of positive energy at the program. She brings joy to her job and therefore to the daily lives of the people she supports. Next up is Danielle Ruggerio. Danielle is the recipient of our 2020 Special Category Award for Person-Centered Supports. She's from Mosaic in Wilmington, Delaware. Danielle supports an individual who moved from an institution into their very first home in the community. Initially, the individual was very aggressive and afraid, and often physically violent. Danielle worked with the individual every day, determined to show kindness in the face of aggression. Danielle attended a person-centered plan meeting with a list of items the individual needed to be successful. After the meeting, she asked her team for 90 days to work with the individual and help them acclimate. The team agreed and got her the tools she needed, including an iPad. Danielle used to help this person communicate their needs. Thanks in part to Danielle's unwavering commitment, the person now lives independently in the community. Congratulations, Danielle. On to you, Barry.
So thanks, Gabby. And I know you said, check out that chat box, and I've been seeing what's been going on there. So all of the appreciation for our awardees is certainly well-deserved. And again, encourage people to put in their well wishes, because it really is amazing to just see the pictures going, but all of the heartfelt sentiments. The Nebraska DSP of the Year is Tim Flesner from BrightSpring Health Services in Lincoln, Nebraska. An individual Tim supports is an avid fan of WWE wrestling. Unfortunately, this person had not been allowed to watch WWE for many years because they would attempt to emulate the moves themselves, including threatening to hit others with chairs. With the support from Tim, who redirected the person's passion towards a goal of attending a live wrestling event instead of mimicking those violent behaviors, the individual can once again watch WWE. Tim has cultivated bonds with individuals he supports and their families, which has helped them achieve a deeper and richer quality of life. His person-centeredness and advocacy make a world of difference. Congratulations, Tim. The Nevada DSP of the Year is Shane Gifford from Chrysalis in Reno, Nevada. Shane encourages the two people in the home where he works to do the things that they want to do. The team had no idea that one of these individuals wanted to go to Disneyland or a Dodgers game. Shane not only discovered this goal, but also helped the person plan and achieve these goals. Shane uses a creative approach with the individual he supports who are estranged from their families. He coordinates celebrations of holidays, birthdays, and other events year-round that encompass a family dynamic in the home. He is always willing to listen to the wants and needs of the people he supports, and he works to make every day special. Next up is the New Jersey DSP of the Year, Christine Maxflix from Dungarvan, Piscataway, New Jersey. Christine examples of person-centered supports. Not only has she advocated for the people she supports in achieving their personal goals of being able to communicate, gain weight, or maintain relationships with their families, she also mentors staff to ensure that they understand the importance of person-centered, goal-oriented supports. Christine has dedicated her life to bettering the lives of people with disabilities. Her person-centered approach cultivates dynamic and fruitful lives for the people she supports. Congratulations. Next up is the New Mexico DSP of the Year, and that's Chase Painter from ARCA in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Chase is committed to person-centered supports and enjoys finding ways to utilize people's unique strengths. His keen attention during the discovery process enables him to help people realize maximum independence. Chase learns about a person's hobbies and interests, which help him to identify job opportunities for the person, and they may never have thought of these opportunities themselves. To achieve successful workplace outcome, Chase actively promotes reciprocal professional relationships between individuals and employers. Chase consistently challenges himself to find innovative means to help people to support, develop the skills, and achieve their dreams. Thanks, Chase. The New York DSP of the Year is Andrew McNamara from Heritage Christian Services in Rochester, New York. Andy's guidance has helped a person he supports develop the courage to leave the house, allowed another to enjoy a behavior-free vacation, and calmed a person in an acutely stressful situation. Each had their individual behaviors and ways of coping, and in every situation, Andy patiently worked with the people experiencing these situations in the areas where they were struggling. His ability to establish relationships with the people he supports contributes to their life's successes. Andy often says, "You can't support a person without that person." Such a simple statement truly exemplifies Andy's approach to person-centered supports. Congratulations, Andy. The North Carolina DSP of the Year is Vincent Whitaker from Dungarvan in Garner, North Carolina. Vincent makes it his responsibility to find out what the people he supports like and dislike. He looks beyond disability and focuses on people's hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Vincent ensures he knows and understands people's abilities and supports and assists every individual in any way possible. One individual he supports always wanted to have his own podcast or radio show. Vincent not only supported the individual to have their own show, but also took the extra step of helping them become part of the local college radio program. This individualized support helped transform a dream into a reality. The North Dakota DSP of the Year is Sammy Hayter from REM in Minot, North Dakota. Sammy always finds ways to enhance people's experiences by developing new methods to meet their needs. When one person's speech enhancement device malfunctioned, Sammy used online instructional video to learn how to repair it herself. She then made the instructions available for the rest of the staff. Sammy also created a file folder game she called Stocking Sodas to help an individual learn how to properly stock sodas, a core function of his job. After working on the activity for a week, he improved his skill and later excelled at work. This activity has become a staple of her organization's vocational activities program. Now, the first of two recipients of the Special Category Award for the Leadership category, Jess Means from Mobius in Damariscotta, Maine. Jess's reputation as a trainer is renowned. The others see him as a professional who walks the talk. He is also an outside-the-box thinker who works hard to come up with solutions that enable other staff and the people he supports step outside their comfort zone or cope with difficult situations. In addition to being an agency trainer, Jeff serves as a vision planner. He's a DSP instructor and lives as the apartment advisor in the independent living program. The apartment advisor is responsible for monitoring general health and safety of the people supported and for modeling neighborly behavior, assuring community connections and peer-to-peer problem solving. Congratulations, Jeff. And the second of the two recipients of this Special Category Award for Leadership is Charlene Quinenos Vieira from BrightSpring Health Services in Ocala, Florida. Charlene is a natural leader and a problem solver, excels at guiding and motivating other members of the team. She has a knack for easy identifying and proposing solutions to any problem that the team encounters. Charlene is the lead trainer for her shifts and ensures that all new employees understand their roles as DSPs. Not only does she possess the leadership skills needed for a team leader, she also has the behind-the-scenes skills required to improve the care of the individual she supports and ensures that procedures are implemented. She approached management to suggest a break schedule for her shift, which helped balance the staffing ratio that ensures people always have the uninterrupted supports that they need. Back to you, Gabby.
Thanks so much, Barry. Keep those comments coming. They are just so fun to read. Just a reminder, before you hit send in your comments, make sure that you chose all panelists and attendees to make sure that over 400 folks get to see the beautiful things that you're saying about our direct support professionals. Next up is the 2020 Ohio DSP of the Year, and that's Orma Houston. Orma works at Dungarvin in Kettering, Ohio. Strong bonds are part of what makes Orma an effective DSP. She forges relationships with the people she supports by listening to them as individuals and taking care to note their individual needs, then molding her approach based on what she sees. Orma understands it's not her job to be a boss, a mother, or a guardian. Her relationship with the people she works with is built on a kinship that centers around empowering them to maximize themselves as individuals, achieving their goals and striving for independence. The 2020 Oklahoma DSP of the Year is Donna Kosher from Dungarvin in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. When Donna realized that the existing classroom experience of a person she supports wasn't conducive to their learning style or abilities, she insisted on a meeting with the teacher to see how she could help. She discovered that the curriculum consisted of abstract assignments that required visual reading, writing, and problem solving. Donna knew the students' vision impairment contributed to these struggles, but wasn't a reflection of their competence. Donna made suggestions to the educational team to encourage more tactile learning. With this new plan, the student has returned to some fundamental lessons and is grasping concepts more easily. The 2020 Oregon DSP of the Year is Sari Threadgill. She's from Dungarvin in Portland, Oregon. Sari supports someone who lost custody of her baby. Sari talked to the individual, and together, they formulated a plan to help her regain custody. Sari developed schedules and reminders to help her clean, make and keep appointments, plan and cook meals, and several other tasks that empowered them to obtain the independence and responsibility required to take care of a child. Thanks to the woman's hard work and dedication, along with Sari's support, she recently regained custody of her child. Sari provided the structure the woman needed to accomplish her goal of regaining what was, to her, the most important relationship in the world. The 2020 Pennsylvania DSP of the Year is Natalie Place from Penmar Human Services in Red Lion, Pennsylvania. Natalie sees each individual she supports as their own person and isn't afraid to push the envelope and encourage teams, individuals, and families to dream bigger. She's a leader among her peers who encourages people to build and maintain friendships in support of high-quality, fulfilling lives. She holds herself and her entire team to a high standard of accountability when it comes to ensuring supports are person-centered. Natalie's a dreamer, and many lives have been transformed as a result. She helps those around her maneuver around obstacles that can threaten their independence. The 2020 South Carolina DSP of the Year is Harriet Brown. Harriet works at Willow Glen Academy in Kingstree, South Carolina. Ms. Harriet, as she's known, has long supported an individual with significant communication support needs. Ms. Harriet devised a list of short phrases and words and then took the time to help the individual learn how and when to use those phrases and words to communicate their needs. Now, instead of communicating through self-injurious behaviors, screaming, and physical aggression, the person Ms. Harriet supports uses words and phrases to express their needs. Ms. Harriet routinely meets the needs of the individual in her care. Her dedication and commitment to justice, equality, and fairness make her an outstanding DSP. The 2020 South Dakota DSP of the Year is Danette Anderson from VistaCare in Pierre, South Dakota. Danette worked one-on-one with an individual who wanted to learn how to manage their own money. She helped them learn the value of different bills and coins, how to carry money, and how to make purchases safely. Danette also promotes involvement in the community and helps organize sporting event outings and other opportunities to connect in the community by coordinating transportation to and from events. Danette has actively promoted participation at the Day Center, where she supports people to improve daily living skills, build friendships, and set personal boundaries. These combine to enable people to become as independent as possible. The 2020 Tennessee DSP of the Year is Pam Weaver from Core Services of Northeast Tennessee in Johnson City, Tennessee. Pam works with an individual who is social, but hasn't always had the opportunity to form relationships beyond staff and the other people supported by Pam's organization. But when Pam helped this individual gain employment at a restaurant in 2018, it opened up a whole new world of opportunity. With Pam's support, the individual became a valued member of the team at work. By standing in the background and coaching only when needed, Pam helped this individual form friendships with coworkers, supervisors, and customers. Pam also helped the individual maintain contact with a number of relatives. Through Pam's behind-the-scenes encouragement, this person now has the social life they always dreamed of. The first of two recipients of the 2020 Special Category Award for the Relationships category is Marquita Meeks from Sunrise Community of Maryland in Fort Washington, Maryland. Marquita supports a woman who depends on others for physical care and mobility. The woman loves hanging out with the girls, so Marquita helps her plan events to meet up with friends throughout the week. Marquita also supports the woman with scheduling and meeting friends in the community at Dave & Buster's, the bowling alley, movie theaters, and other fun places. Marquita also helped this individual set up and maintain a Facebook page to plan events via the social network. She now posts pictures of the places they've been and the things they've done to keep friends up to date on their busy social life. The second of two recipients of one of our special category awards for relationships is Brittany Rush. She's from Delta Community Supports in Levittown, Pennsylvania. Brittany has developed a patient, attentive approach to working with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Working with people who had demonstrated combative behaviors with family members or other staff in the past, Brittany uses patience and insight to gain the trust of those individuals and eventually encourage remarkable behavioral transformations. With careful guidance and support, Brittany helped one individual she supports learn about the importance of regular healthcare visits and understand the impact of better health on her desire to take charge of her life. The individual now stays up to date on medical visits and can regularly venture out into the community to build new friendships and live a quality life. Barry, back over to you.
Well, thanks, Gab. And I gotta say, I just love seeing the pictures, and you could see how much care that everybody gives. I wish we could be together just to, handshake and tell you in person, how much I appreciate what you're doing for the people that you're serving. Also, I gotta say the chat box is just really going with, how much love, care, praise, blessings, that everybody has and gives to the people they serve. So, thank you for that as well. It really makes this a special event. The Texas DSP of the Year is Luisa Gallegos from BrightSpring Health Services in San Angelo, Texas. Luisa works with an individual who doctors were convinced would be permanently bedridden. Unconvinced, Luisa supported the individual to no longer be confined to the bed, and now is able to sit up and even use a wheelchair on their own. Most importantly, she has enabled the individual to achieve one of their personal goals, attending a day rehab program again. Luisa's dedication to the people she supports has enabled them to go from being isolated to participating in the activities they care about. Luisa has played a pivotal role in ensuring the people she supports can truly be a part of the community. Congratulations, Luisa. The Utah DSP of the Year is Casey Yerke from Chrysalis in Cedar City, Utah. Casey plays an active role in implementing person-centered plans and making sure those plans are realistic and successful. She takes it upon herself to think of realistic goals that will help people she supports develop new skills. Casey understands that not all individuals naturally advocate for what they want or need. Therefore, she takes it upon herself to amplify the voices of the people she supports on all fronts. She helps them articulate their wants and needs to family members, support coordinators, caseworkers, and even judges. Casey puts her soul, her heart, and time into ensuring that every person who paths cross hers is better than it was before. The Vermont DSP of the Year is Judy Ververs from Champlain Community Services in Colchester, Vermont. Judy brought one of the men she supports to see civil rights leader John Lewis, speaker at a local theater. Together, they developed a passion for advocacy and public speaking. This introduction to the civil rights movement, along with his ambition and Judy's support, helped the person grow as a respected leader and self-advocate throughout the state. By her very nature, Judy believes in the power of curiosity and learning and actively seeks to understand the best way to support people's education and personal growth. As a lifelong learner and educator, Judy teaches and supports people to embrace their fullest, most human and person-centered lives. The Virginia DSP of the Year is Marquita Moore from BrightSpring Health Services in Richmond, Virginia. Marquita creates an environment that allows everyone she supports to feel valued, which in turn helps them build relationships with others. Marquita advocates daily for people who leverage her program supports and encourages each person to cultivate healthy, meaningful relationships with their family members. Marquita has outstanding patience and provides exceptional encouragement with each individual. Her patience and discipline is expressed every situation is balanced and positive, and her personal interactions inspire positive living and working environments. The Washington DSP of the Year is Jody Tofstad from BrightSpring Health Services in Puyallup, Washington. Jody is always supporting people to reach their goals. She ensures those she supports can participate in the activities they prefer. She takes the time needed to let people complete tasks for themselves, offering encouragement along the way. Jody has always been a great advocate for people with diverse abilities, making sure that their needs are communicated and addressed. Jody has a gentle and calm demeanor, which helps her break down barriers to connect with people and learn about their dreams and aspirations. Jody is diligent in attending to their needs and everyone that she supports. The West Virginia DSP of the Year is Carmen Dowler from BrightSpring Health Services in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Carmen works with an individual who only occasionally liked to get out of the house. However, once Carmen discovered that this woman loved going out to eat with her friends, Carmen began arranging for her to have lunch dates every couple of weeks. And now Carmen accomplishes and accompanies these women that she supports to weekly lunch dates. Carmen's commitment is not surprising. She is a well-rounded person and a person-centered DSP. She goes above and beyond for every person supported by her agency, not just the people that she supports directly. Carmen always has a smile on her face and truly strives to make a difference. The Wisconsin DSP of the Year is Brianna Helms from Innovative Services in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Brianna believes in the power of positive words to empower people that she supports. The example she uses, mirroring techniques, has taught her colleagues to do the same. To relate to one of the people she supports, who previously struggled to connect with others, she's building rapport with thought to be impossible, but not for Brianna. Brianna continuously strives to improve the lives of everyone around her. She is reliable, dedicated, and knowledgeable when it comes to the needs of the people she supports, and her quality of life is better because of it. And now, Gabby, back to you for the National DSP of the Year.
Oh man, no pressure, right? It is my honor and my privilege to introduce to you all the 2020 National DSP of the Year. And for folks who are on the phone who have had the opportunity to be a part of the selection process, man, this is not easy. As you've heard throughout most of the afternoon today, there are just so many amazing men and women here presenting themselves on a daily basis, changing lives. But among this year's recipients, Eligio Velasquez from ARCA in Albuquerque, New Mexico, is our 2020 national recipient. Let me tell you just a little bit about Eligio, and then I'm going to hand it over to him. Eligio Velasquez has spent all 26 of his years in the profession with ARCA. He manages a group home where 3 men with intellectual and developmental disabilities live. These men are able to live in the community rather than being institutionalized, thanks to the support of Eligio and his colleagues at ARCA. According to his nomination, Eligio has excelled in tailoring the services he delivers to the unique needs of the people he supports. When he observed Bob, one of the men he supports, conversing with someone at a community function using American Sign Language, Velasquez realized that Bob was far from nonverbal, as once suspected. Eligio quickly began researching programs for people with hearing disabilities, secured an ASL interpreter to attend the individual's medical appointments, and coordinated with staff to identify new avenues for the individual to communicate. Eligio's dedication to person-centered supports was life-changing for Bob, who finally had the ability to express his longtime dreams. Eligio was instrumental in creating an environment for Bob to communicate and to be understood. The nomination letter also noted that Velasquez's own struggle with dyslexia has been instrumental in his drive to deliver a person-centered support that help people with diverse abilities find their voices. Eligio, we are delighted and honored that you could be with us today, and we celebrate you and all of the recipients this year for your dedication and your commitment. And Eligio, if you would like to say a few words, we would welcome that.
Good day. Bienvenidos todos. I would like to begin by thanking ANCOR and their Relias. Honored to be awarded National DSP of the Year. I also want to recognize all the other winners here today for all their dedication and hard work. And a special shout out to my colleague at ARCA, Chase Painter. We all work hard every day to do our very best for the people we support. This is even more evident during today's trying times, making sure people are safe and their lives are fulfilling. Even through the constant change we are facing, I am amazed how easily the guys I work with have adapted to technology. Example, connecting to technology, and I am proud of the resilience of my coworkers who are stepping up to take an extra shift to help make the unfamiliar so routine as possible. We are all learning together. It has been a privilege and joy for me to serve people with IDD for 26 years now. When I first started at ARCA, I was only looking for a part-time job. I had always been interested in working with people in a social service setting, but had been diagnosed with dyslexia when I was in elementary school. So I didn't think anyone would hire me to do this type of work. I had gone to school for the culinary arts and thought I was just waiting for something to do until I could find a job as a chef. I was working with a job coach who recommended ARCA as a good fit for my strengths. My first day at ARCA was scary, but lucky. I was part of a great team. My coworkers knew everybody so well, it was easy to learn from them. Within a week, I knew working in this field was my calling. I could still put my chef skills to use at my work. I look back on my time being in special education classes and feel blessed for my experience. Not only did I meet many special teachers who encouraged me, gave me confidence, and took a great, but I was able to develop special relationships with children who had disabilities much more severe than my own. I saw them being bullied and I knew it wasn't right. I learned that at a very young age, the importance of advocating for them. When I started at ARCA, I was for sincere care and dedication to the people being supported. This reminded me of my own experience as a child, of how good it felt to respect everyone and fulfilled my desire to help people with disabilities. The guys I was supporting were funny, loving, and even with their challenges, just great human beings. There's nothing that compares to assisting individuals in their lives with simple tasks that many people often take for granted. Everyone has their days, but through those challenges, there are little joys in almost every moment. Sometimes it is considered, sometimes it could be considered a little selfish because the love and gratitude they give is like no other. I would like to thank ARCA and Ed, our CEO, Marcy Money, my service director, and some of my supervisors, especially Cecile, for giving giving me the opportunity to be the best DSP I could be. Even with my own personal disabilities, they have always worked with me by connecting me to technology I needed to complete my task and help the people I support succeed. None of this could have been possible without my God and the support of my wife, Eva, my children, Eligio, Emma, and Elias, my mother, Sylvia, and father, Freddie, my brother, Richard, and all of my family members. There has been many people who have helped shape my life. I want to thank Sandee, the first teacher who really took the time to make a difference in my education and who still supports me to this day. I appreciate this recognition I am receiving today with all my heart. Without my coworkers, it always, but I could not have gotten this award without my coworkers. It has always been a team. I would not have been able to do my job for all these years without all the wonderful people around me. They are some of the most special human beings I have known, and I have worked with several of them for over 20 years. This award has my name. To everyone of my team members, past, present, and everyone at ARCA for the hard work they do every day. Thank you again to ANCOR and Relias for this great honor, and to all my colleagues in Albuquerque and around the world. Everything you do to support people with IDD. God bless you and have a nice evening.
Oh my gosh, Eligio, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Leo, I hope you take a minute to look in the chat box, because you're getting an extraordinary amount of love, as are every one of you honorees today. You know, Eligio, I just want to repeat a couple of things that you said. You know, when you share that sometimes your work can feel like it's a little selfish. Yeah, that's what today feels like today. So we get so much when we give and we serve, and you and all of the honorees are such extraordinary examples. Eligio, you said something else. You said to make the unfamiliar routine for folks. That's not easy. And it's just so extraordinary as we all navigate, you know, this virtual world, and where so many, I'm certain, so many people who are part of, who are part of the audience of this awards ceremony are trying to figure out how to deliver day supports and employment supports remotely, you know, and we're going to do it. You guys are going to do it. You're going to be making the unfamiliar routine. So thank you so much. And just a great big, huge round of applause for every single person who was honored today, and all of your colleagues who weren't honored, but we all know, just, you know, without all of us, it just wouldn't be the community that we are, and we're just an extraordinary community. Mike, great big huge thank you again to Relias. I'm going to ask everyone So let's not lose this moment. Let's keep sharing the love. Let's keep spreading it. Take a look at your state profile and share your DSP, share your own individual award on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Give us a selfie holding up your beautiful glass award. Just do it, and do it a lot, because yes, it is about elevating the incredibly honorable profession of direct support professionals. You are the ambassadors for 2020, and we want the whole world to know about you. And I also, just before I close, I want to ask everyone to save the date. Direct Support Professionals of the Year Recognition Week is the week of September 13th to the 19th. So don't forget that. And with that, I'll close this out, because I know a whole lot of folks want to get on to your own celebrations. Thank you so much. From all of us at ANCOR, we are energized by you. We are humbled by you. And thank you. Go forth, continue to do wonderful work. Stay well, and we'll see you in person soon. Bye-bye.